Hello folks, I'm Tim. Thank you very much for joining me. We have something a little bit different in the studio today. We've got the HJC V90 modular helmet. As you can see from the gloss black to my left, this is a flip-up helmet. The front of it flips up, as the name modular might imply. But this is a type of helmet we don't tend to stock as much at Urban Rider. The reason this one's caught our eye is just because the styling is so different from the rest of the modular helmets you'll find on the market. This one, as you can probably tell, is vintagely styled. It's got a really nice clean aesthetic to it, really nice clean silhouette. Great functionality, great practicality, and great comfort actually as well with that type of helmet. With some of them, they can be a little bit on the heavier side because of the mechanics that go into that. Not the case with this one at all. It is a nice light lid. That's thanks in part to the fiberglass composite shell that you've got on this. So reasonably light as a helmet. It's 1,560 grams for the medium that we've got here. As you can see, we have it in what they call pearl white, which is quite a nice kind of reflective white actually. Pearl's a good name for it because it's got these little flecks in it that you can see that are picking up the light nicely. You've got a matte black version and a gloss black version as well. You've also got different visors that you can go for. So again, still bubble visors, but you've got the smoke that we've got on this one. We've got the iridium, I believe it is, on the white. With the white in particular, I think this is the color I like the most, especially if you contrast it with a darker visor. The little black and dark details on this contrast really nicely with that white. The visors, if you want to buy extra, are $49.99. The helmets, I should also say, are £259.99, so just shy of £260. And I don't need to tell you that that is a good price for any helmet, especially with the added functionality you've got with these. HJC are a comfortable make as well. I'm probably a little bit biased because they tend to favor my head shape, my fit in particular. They are an intermediate oval with this, and I've got a slightly longer head, less of a kind of round fit. So this is the type of helmet that definitely fits me well. Obviously that's going to be dependent on your fit as well. You'll know probably, if you've tried on a HJC before, you'll know whether or not these are going to fit you well. It's got a nice comfortable liner as well though. You've got the Silver Cool antibacterial, moisture wicking, and of course removable liner. That's also going to add to the comfort. And the rest of the features are pretty simple as well. There's not an awful lot of detail across this. That helps it look nice and clean. You've got a lovely little HJC logo on the side, for example, to start with. You've also got a vent on the top there. So this is openable or closable, of course, where you've got that little, don't know what to call that really, just a switch on the top anyway, but you can slide that back and forth and open and close. You've got an exhaust vent on the back there as well, which will help that airflow find an exit. And then you've also got a vent just on the front there below the visor, which allows a certain amount of airflow through, which will help demist the visor. The visor itself is not pin lock ready. That tends to be the kind of A standard really as far as anti-fog or demisting. So these actually have an anti-fog coating on the visor, so it's still going to help at least a certain amount. And then, as I say, that vent will allow some airflow through. You've also got on the inside a flip down sun visor as well. So you can either drop it down or leave it up as you require. You've got a switch on the side to do that. Really easy to operate actually. Locks securely into place. And that's a really useful thing when you're out on a ride. Again, from experience with helmets I've used in the past, we don't have an awful lot of helmets actually with these drop-down visors. But if you are out and it starts to get a bit sunnier, obviously that helps so you're not squinting and destroying your eyes while you're out riding. But when you get into the trees and canopies and things like that, where the light is a little bit less, you can flip that up, of course. I should also say that that drop-down sun shield also has its own anti-fog and anti-scratch coating. One of my gripes though, one of the things I'm going to pick it up on is the visor itself and the fastening of that visor. It's a little bit fiddly to open and close. I've seen better mechanisms certainly for securing it down the bottom. It is secure, it will hold it in place obviously, and you can lock it in certain positions as you need to. It's just that, as I say, I've seen better on other helmets. But if we're talking about mechanisms, obviously the party piece of this is that it is a modular helmet, so you can flip it up if you require. The most important thing I need to tell you about that is that it is not homologated for open usage. It is homologated for full face usage. So as far as the ECE safety rating that obviously it has, it is a safe helmet, it's tested as a full face helmet. So they do not recommend to ride with it open. Now I know full well, even whilst I'm saying that, some of you are choosing to ignore me and you'll probably ride with it open. It's just important that you are aware that of course it's safety rated as a full face helmet, not to be ridden in the up position. It even says it in the chin guard, which you can read each and every time you open or close it. Before riding, be certain that the chin guard is locked. You have been told. The mechanism itself works really nicely. It does lock it in place when it moves up to the top position. And then if you do actually close it, the one thing I would say about using that is to be quite forceful with it. What I found actually quite useful is to use my fingers on the top of the visor just to secure it in place. But it does require a little bit of force to lock it into place. And then if you need to open it, you just press that little red button on the bottom there and slide it up into place like that. It's as simple as that. Once it's up there and you parked up, you want to speak to your friends or whatever you need really, obviously it just makes it easier to communicate with people. It makes it a bit more comfortable as well. You don't have to keep taking on and off your helmet, and it might make it easier, depending on yourself, to get it on in the first place. One of the other things though, actually, again, if I flip it over, that is impressive to point out is that they have on the back of the helmet something that reads Smart HJC. That is a little pocket for your intercom system. Now they're partnered with Senna, or at least they've got a decent partnership with Senna, so they do make an intercom system specifically that will work with this helmet, and that there is for your battery pack, so it helps keep it nice and clean from the outside. It just helps neaten off that intercom system so you can't see all of the extra bulk on the outside of the lid. Some of it is concealed on the inside. So that's a nice little feature on there as well. And lastly, I should probably touch upon the size. These are pretty true to size. That is going to depend on your head shape. As I say, they are modeled more as an intermediate oval. If you've got a longer shaped head, or intermediate oval helmets tend to fit you best, then obviously it's going to favor you slightly more. I generally wear a medium or a large. I can squeeze into most mediums, but large is the size I tend to buy. I've got a 59 centimeter head, and this one fits me nicely in the large size. Now, if you've got any questions and comments, obviously drop them down below. I would be very interested to find out what you think about modular helmets as a whole, but specifically the style of this. Do you like this helmet? Let us know, as I say, in the comments. If you've got any questions about size, that's of course where you'll leave them as well. We've got links in the description to the website if you want to check out more details on these. As I say, they come in at just shy of £260 at the moment, which is a really decent price for this kind of helmet. And for more of the world's finest riding gear, as always, stay tuned to Urban Rider. Thank you.